Hello everyone, Chris Kottlowski with the Rise Up 21 program. I'm excited this morning because my good friend Michele Helland is with me and we are going to talk about supplements. So first of all, Michele is a lifestyle educator. She focuses on wellness, supplements, and just really nutritional support. And so I just thought it would be fun to talk for about 10 minutes on supplements. It's a very confusing area. And I personally feel better if I take my vitamins, supplements, and I seriously have to put my vitamins for my morning and my nighttime in a med case. And just like clockwork, I have my breakfast, I'll take my morning supplements, and before I go to bed, I take them. And I feel better, I sleep better, I have more energy. So let's just dive into it and just talk about supplements. First of all, do you want to say anything more about my introduction to you?
Hi everybody. I'd like to say thank you to Chris for having me here. I'm really excited to talk about supplements and lifestyle and whatever else comes up. So I'm going to start off with supplementation and why it's important.
Absolutely.
So supplementation is very important because most of the American diet does not consist of proper nutrition. We get a lot of calories from our food, but not really great nutrition. And supplementation helps fill the gaps of the food that we eat and don't eat.
Love that. So if I was to say, all right, I like what Chris and Michele are saying, I'm going to start taking supplements. Where do we start? If you go to any store, you see rows and rows and rows and rows. So what should someone think about if they're just starting out with their own regime?
Great question. So the problem with big box stores and buying your supplements off the internet, you don't know where they're sourcing their ingredients, you don't know the testing, you don't know where it's coming from, and unfortunately anybody online can fill an order and slap a label on there and make you think you're getting it from the company. So I have an aversion to purchasing online or from big box stores because you don't know where they're sourcing their products, you don't know what type of testing they have. I am a good resource because I have done the research, and the companies that I deal with, we have talked to them and gone online and done the research through the companies and the supplementation and the ingredients that they use. And they have 3-part testing. If it doesn't make the first 2, they throw it out. It's got to go through 3 sessions. It has a GMP stamp on it. We know what's in the ingredients. There has been tests done where they have rat poisoning, sawdust, metals in their products. So we have to be very careful where you get your product.
Well, and a couple things with that come to mind. Supplements are not FDA regulated, so hence it is very wise to, before you put it into your body, have someone that you, or a company that is reputable, that you can trust, and it has been in the industry for years, rather than just some startup company that wants to slap a label on their product. The other thing that I really like what you said, and this is the beauty of Rise Up 21, is that we all are so busy. There are so many things that could take up our time studying and researching. And bringing someone like Michele to this community is so important because you have already done the research.
Right.
You've spent the time reading and talking with people. What are the benefits? What are the negatives potentially? And
done the work.
I think that is just a huge, positive with being in this program.
Yes.
So if you were to say, these are my favorites, what would you suggest?
Good question again. So it's important, I know everybody's heard this, it's important to start off with a really good multivitamin, multi-mineral, because again, it fills in the gaps. So I would start with that. My second thing, vitamin D. Everybody, for the most part, we say about 95% of people do lack vitamin D. Even lifeguards in Florida could have low vitamin D. And the Medical Association says between 30 and 70 is normal. Well, we really want to try and have a number in the 60s for vitamin D levels, so vitamin D supplementation is very important. Vitamin D is important because it helps with about 600 things in your body. To name a few, cancer, helping with your sleep. My third thing would be vitamin C. Vitamin D and vitamin C, especially now for immune health and COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So first, multivitamin, multimineral. Second, vitamin D. Third, vitamin C. And I would shoot for 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, taken separately. One in the morning, later in the morning, early afternoon, later in the afternoon. Because if you take 2,000, two of them at the same time, you only get the benefits of about 1,500. And fourth on my list would be probiotics. Putting good probiotics into your digestive system helps populate the good bacteria to combat the bad bacteria. And that bad bacteria is bad for your system. It helps with a lot of sickness. You want to get rid of the sickness by putting good bacteria into your digestive system.
It's kind of a no-brainer to me. A couple things that you said. A few years back, I had complete blood work done, and I'm a healthy person. I was amazed at the deficiencies that my body had, and surprised at where I needed to focus with my nutrition as well as my supplementation. And since this program is growing around the country and actually internationally, that comment that you made about you could be living on a beach and still need vitamin D, that's amazing to me.
And it's because they're finding there's a genetic link to it. Your genetics are not turning on that link for you to be able to absorb that vitamin D from the sun.
Makes sense.
So you need help. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I think it's 60% of the population that's the issue.
That's a high percent.
High percentage. So then you help yourself by taking about 4,000 IUs a day, which is about 4 drops from a liquid, I would say, over a pill, because your body has a hard time absorbing the pills. Liquid is
Great point.
immediately
That
absorbed.
was one of my questions is, do we go to the liquid form or a pill? Does it vary between different type vitamin C to vitamin D, or just across the board? Is it better to have liquid?
Good question. Yes, it's better to have liquid because it absorbs quicker. You can take powder and mix it with water and drink it. It's almost like an IV, meaning it absorbs right into your system and it bypasses your digestive system. And if all you have are pills, do that. And when you run out of that, then talk to me or look for a vitamin D or whatever it is in liquid form or powder form.
Okay, so do any of you take your vitamins and then you feel miserable? I know I have made that mistake, and personally I need to eat and then take them. Does it vary by person, do you find, or does it differ between if I'm taking a pill versus the liquid?
So it definitely does vary by person. We're all different,
Right.
so it's going to affect you no matter what, because you were a different person. And some of it has to be taken on an empty stomach, and I can't tell you specifically right now what that would be, but if you can take it while you're eating, have something to eat and then take it, please do, because we don't want anybody to feel yucky. In our family, we call it irky. I have an irky feeling. If you take too many pills on an empty stomach, you just don't feel good. So if you can eat and take it at the same time, there's no reason why you can't do a multivitamin with your food at the same time. Probiotic, I mean, I don't know really any vitamin on the top of my head that would be effective because you're eating food.
Okay, so buying supplements can be so overwhelming, and this program also we address everything, right? Feeling depressed, feeling overwhelmed, and anxious. So part of your role in helping me and helping anyone that's watching this video really is to talk with someone to say what is your, like, what are your questions? What would someone need to know about themselves to share with you, so you can say, you know what, let's try this, this, and this.
So I work more in a medical community, so we start off our conversations with, what is your chief concerns? What are your chief concerns, excuse me?
Okay.
Meaning, what is really bothering you today?
Right.
So we start out talking about what is their biggest concerns at that moment or in those past couple days. And depending on what it is, we might talk about breathing techniques. We might talk about meditation, and I have a friend who said,
Love that, because that's huge on my
person's
mojo morning list of things to do.
And I have a friend she said to me, she says, I'm not into meditation. I said, well, maybe your meditation is walking and looking at the trees.
I'm glad we're going to segue on that.
Yeah.
So I just was talking with someone this morning. Her meditation, she's a busy mom of 3 young boys. Her meditation is taking her dog to the dog park, and she said, I focus on what's around me in that moment. And she said, Chris, I have been known to talk to myself, but I don't even care. my husband, to give him, use him as an example, his thing is he gets up every morning and he sits and drinks his coffee. For years, I thought, I think he should meditate. I really think that he would benefit from this. He's been meditating in his own way, in the quiet. Who am I to know what's going on in his mind? So that's really key. You don't have to be sitting with, a blanket with candles or sitting in, cross-legged to be meditating.
Right.
It's whatever works.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot about what I do, is listening and working with people on whatever works for them. And I don't say no, because when someone hears the word no, the first thing they want to do is to do it. So if I say,
Exactly.
no, you can't have your Pepsi anymore or your Mountain Dew.
What is the first thing? I'm going to go stop and get me my Mountain Dew.
I say, hey, if you want to have Mountain Dew, that's fine. Have your Mountain Dew. How about drink an extra glass of water that day?
Exactly.
So we start with the
Choices.
basics,
Choices.
with our choices. Yeah.
And we all set ourselves up for failure with everything if we say, I am going to get up every single day for the next 14 days and work out for 30 minutes. We will self-sabotage ourselves. Start with one day, one extra day. Same thing with drinking our water. I'm gonna drink one more extra glass of water. So we'll get into all that on a different segment. Can you, from experience and success stories of people that you've worked with, give us a handful or just a few success stories or improvements with people's lives that they have experienced by supplementing their nutritional lives?
I can't give you any specifics other than my cousin, but generally and I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Generally the feedback I get is I feel better. My gut feels better.
Less bloating?
Less bloating, perhaps less depression,
Okay.
if that's what their issue is. Just people will say, I just feel better.
I think that's for me, and that's why I can't say specifically like I take this and that's how I feel. I just generally, I have more energy. Well, energy is the big thing for me. I'm sleeping more sound. And
That's
let's
a person.
jump, because we'll probably jump all around. We talked about this, not to put you on the spot, but when we have it all together, we're working on our healthy habits. We're concentrating on our self-talk, positive self-talk towards ourselves. We're drinking our water. We're mindful of what we are putting into our bodies. We're exercising. We add in supplements or not. But when we are feeling at the top of our game with energy, and it's like, I'm a rock star. And then we stop doing all the things that make us feel good. Do you have any thoughts on why we do that?
Sure, because you feel like a rock star. You feel like you're at the top of your game, so you're good. I'm just gonna keep doing that. And there's a reason why you feel like you're a rock star at the top of your game, because you put so many good habits in play that you think, I'm good. I don't need this one or that one or all
So we
five
start
of them.
slacking.
Start slacking, and that's common, that's normal, it
No,
happens, and
no.
you can't get mad at yourself, you just
No.
need to be aware of it. That's the first step to changing it again, is be
Yes.
aware of it, and then
Yes.
take a tiny step. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water, more water, and then
Comes
the next
with
time,
awareness.
Awareness.
And I love, love, love the fact that you begin again.
Right, and it's okay,
You begin again.
we're not perfect.
Then we're not.
And that's what I was gonna say about my cousin. I know she wouldn't mind me sharing some of her stories, and that's kind of how what happened with her. She's lost 15 pounds through good supplementation, eating, and moving. And
Yes.
she now is doing a program where she's teaching other ladies in her community in Illinois to move and
Exactly.
feel
Keep
better
it to
about
the
themselves.
basics.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Do you have any other thoughts?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts. I don't have much time. We have
Well, here's
here-
what I'm going to do. I'm going to put her on the spot right here and now. Will you type up or put together a tip sheet
Sure.
on things that we've talked about? Because once we stop this video, you're going to say, oh, we could have talked about this and this and this and this. So, Michelle, would you share your tips with our community?
Of course I will, and always feel free to reach out to me with any questions.
I'm glad you pointed that out. So I'll share this video, and I will also give you Michelle's email so that you can reach out to her with specifics. Give her your background, and you'll take the time, right,
Yep,
to
absolutely.
just respond.
Mhm. I love talking about this topic, and I'm more than happy to help people out who
Wonderful.
want more information.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
You guys, we'll talk to you soon.